The music on our show is basically like, it's like another character. It's just like the city. It adds a whole nother texture, and it brings the mood and the emotions to like, just, well, someone's talking. I think someone's interrupting me.
Hey, look, here.
Excuse me.
I only got the two because I drank the other one.
Excuse me. You're missing one.
Yeah.
Phil Collins, this is Tom Bergeron.
You suck the serviette. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Phil. How are you?
So, like I said,
Oh, overworked, underpaid, as usual.
Now, you are...
I'm going to go over here and sit down.
Oh, that'd be good.
Enjoy your drink, lads.
Is that?
Don't drink it all at once.
No, that ain't him.
Suzanne, we're going to bid you a momentary farewell so I can chat with Phil for just a moment.
Okay.
Why is the camera?
Now, Phil, I understand you are guesting as the musical act from Natalie's on New York Undercover. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes, we just finished our stuff, actually. We just finished a song called All to Know By Now, which is on the new album.
Now, do you play Phil Collins at Natalie's?
Well, yes, I think so.
Is that right?
I wasn't told to play anybody else, so I just played, that was me.
So what does the director tell you, how to get into Phil Collins' character?
Well, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to get into such a short, balding person, but I managed that somehow.
It is, suffice it to say, I listened to Dance Into the Light, your new CD, which I'm holding up, by the way. This is a different sound of Phil Collins than your last CD. Why?
Well, I try and make them all a bit different, really, to be honest. But I mean, it's different mainly, I guess, because I'm in a slightly different place mentally. You know, I mean, physically, I live in a different place. I moved a couple of years ago. Everything in my life changed, and that is kind of reflected in the music. The music is very optimistic, very bright. You know, it's much more up than both sides was, and that's because I'm a different person really now than I was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
3 or 4 years ago when I did that record.
Now you're living in Switzerland now, and in a feel free to chug those if you need to. I know.
No, I wouldn't drink these.
Yeah, not pretty good. They're faux beer.
I know where they've been.
Yeah. You're in a new relationship. You're in a new country, and you've had some different influences in your music too. I think in this CD. Can you talk about those?
Well, I mean, I guess the two big differences for me, I mean, I don't know whether it's like for the listener, but for me, I wrote a lot of things from a guitar point of view, which is being a piano player, I mean, a drummer really, but I mean, I write on the keyboard, so from, it points the songs in a very different direction. So if you're writing from a strumming guitar kind of, perspective, some of the stuff on the album is to me, is very reminiscent of early Byrds and Beatles and Petty and things like that, Tom Petty, and it's just a different direction for me. As well as that, there's some of the African sort of influence music, which is as a drummer, which is what I really am. It should be no surprise to people that it's part of my dictionary of rhythm.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always fooled around with different stuff, but on this album, because it's quite up, and I was listening to a lot of Youssou N'Dour and people like that on the tour, which is where I wrote most of these songs. That came out as being very, African influenced, really.
I have to ask you, because we had Yes on the show. It was their first live TV appearance in 18 years, and they reformed about a week ago. And you have said you've left Genesis.
Are they still together?
Yeah, they're together.
Okay.
Are you going to be getting back with Genesis at all, or is that chapter done?
Oh, that chapter is definitely closed. Well, I say closed. I mean, I think there's a big box set coming out next year of the band, and if someone said, hey, how about doing a gig with you playing drums and Peter Gabriel singing, I would say yes. I mean, I didn't fall out with anybody. I just decided to do something else after 25 years of being with the same situation. You've got to sort of change and make yourself go into different directions. Otherwise, you're going to do the same things all your life. And I've always done lots of different things. So to me, it's just I've done that, and I think Tony and Mike understand that.
Yeah.
And they could easily have been them saying it. But no, I think I've never closed the book, but in terms of me rejoining the band to be their singer, yes, that's not going to happen. But future projects with any one of them, or the original group, I'm not closing that door at all.
Phil Collins' current projects include Dance Into the Light, his new CD, and you can see him on Fox's own New York Undercover. Phil, thanks so much for spending some time with us. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
I think table 3 expects their order now, so I'll let you get back. All right, take care. Suzanne, thanks, and thanks to everybody on board on the set.
Hey, Tom, just so you know, this episode is airing Thursday, December 5th at 9 p.m. on Fox, and thanks to all you guys for taking the time during your break to talk.